Now it's working. Kind of. It's doing the shitty quiet thing again. Fine. Fucking Windows.
Well, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see Ovechkin break the record in person. I don't think he's getting 8 goals tonight and Saturday.
That's okay. I wasn't going to watch it.
Not with that attitude.
I mean, he could get like 4 against the Sharks, but I don't know if he's going to get 4 tonight.
He could get 7 against the Sharks.
Probably over. Yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic about how bad the Sharks are.
They're beating the Blackhawks right now. They're pretty fucking awful, too. So
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck. I didn't put anything in yet. Not that I need to put in my notes so much, but they help me figure out who gets what for points. Okay, I got to figure out points. Have you written your thing yet?
Yeah, it's down there.
Okay. 8.
I've been watching an Italian show called, well, in English it's called The Leopard. I looked it up, and the word is actually translated as the serval, which is a completely different animal. But I like that its name in Italian is Il Gattopardo.
What are the hallmarks of Italian television?
Oh, I don't know. I just like this show. It's a historical drama based off of a novel which I had never heard of, but apparently it's considered one of the epitome of whatever. It was written in the 50s, so whatever modern-ish Italian literature. And it's about a prince in Sicily. Princes back then weren't necessarily like royalty. They were just, whatever, local nobles. So a prince in Sicily, when the kingdom of two Sicilies is annexed into Italy to form a unified Italy.
Okay.
And it's really just about this, he's an older man, like in his like late 40s, early 50s, whatever. And he was a prince, and so now basically what he's just trying to do is make sure that in this new kingdom he's still a prince. And it's kind of neat because like he's got to reckon with the fact that like a lot of people are taking advantage of the power vacuum to like try and usurp him and all that kind of stuff, because he was essentially like the local power guy, you know what I mean? If you needed anything, you went to the Prince of Salina or whatever, that sort of thing, yeah? But now, like, the mayor, who's been quietly amassing land and wheat for the past decade, now all of a sudden there's a power vacuum, and he's a big shot. And the former governor, he's a big shot, and all that kind of stuff. But his nephew was one of the 1,000, so he has a pretty good in with the new government. No, it's pretty interesting. Right now, like the episode that I just finished was mostly about his daughter Concetta, who was in love with his nephew, but his nephew left her for arguably, like, the actress who plays Angelica is probably one of the prettiest people in the world. And so, yeah, Tancredi left Concetta for Angelica. Angelica, the mayor's daughter, who was hoping to seduce Il Gattopardo with her, but he saw through it. But his horn dog nephew was like, "Yeah, I want that." So Concetta was so distraught over this that she has rejoined the monastery, and so he's trying to get her to come out of the monastery. What eventually brings it out is his son, Paolo, is really just a dumb idiot, and he's one of those guys who thinks, I can make something of myself in this new world, and so he makes a deal with the wrong person and ends up murdered. But they don't know he was murdered. They think he just fell off his horse. So at the funeral, Concetta comes out not in her novitiate uniform, but in black mourning garb. And now it's like, all right, who's she going to get married off to? I'm hoping it's Colonel Bombello.
You know, I was going to make a joke about how the only Italian media I've ever consumed is Skinamax. Back when I was a teenager, there's a lot of Italian Skinamax. And I was going to make a joke because it sounded like it was obviously a joke because this show's nothing like that. But this show sounds a lot like, like the way you're describing the relationships and the treachery. It sounds a lot like the shitty Skinamax. But I'm sure this is much higher quality. It's just I was expecting it to be very divergent, but it still sounds pretty saucy occasionally.
It's very high quality. Like, it's very high quality. There is, I'm not gonna say no nudity, but very, very little. It's really, honestly, it is a really interesting thing because if I had to say what is the Italian character, it's probably like they just do the, you know what I mean? Like everyone is just so, like, when I say romantic, I don't mean romantic like, oh, I love you so much, eh? But like everything they feel is very large and the stakes feel very real and they're very ambitious, but like you owe so much fealty to your family. Like his entire family is like, oh, well, what's his name? Don Fabrizio wants me to do this thing, so I'm going to do this thing. But they're very conscious of the fact that, like, he wanted his nephew Tancredi to take over for him when he eventually died. That was his chosen heir. But when he married Angelica and moved to Turin to be closer to the government, he was like, well, I guess I gotta teach Paolo a thing or two. But Paolo's like, well, Dad has never trusted me in the past, so therefore I must do something to impress him. I will make the deal to get this sulfur mine off the ground. And he ends up getting killed by bandits.
This sounds... I'm sure it's not, but this sounds also a lot like a soap opera.
I mean, well, here's the thing. It is a classic of Italian literature because it is essentially a soap opera. Like, I mean, like, the main character obviously is Fabrizio, but it's like, he is this extremely powerful person, and at first he's afraid that when the Northern Italians annex his island, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when they annex it, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna be gone. But he very quickly realizes all they really did was exchange one king for another. But he has no rapport with the king of Savoy. So he has... Wait, is it Savoy? Piedmont Sardinia. Sorry, that was the name of the kingdom. But, which contained a part of Savoy, but they eventually traded Savoy to France in exchange for military support against Austria to unify the North. But anyway, he realizes, oh, we're just switching from one to the other. So I will, and I'm still a very wealthy, powerful man. So I'm just going to maintain my family and my position. But he's not perfect or anything, and he has a lot of blind spots, which is something that's really interesting considering, like, in American TV, this kind of a character would always know everything and be aware of everyone who was going against him at all times, and he would have this perfect move against them. But, like, his nephew gets in some trouble, and so he has to bribe the governor of the island by giving him a bunch of lemon trees. You know, like a lot of his land, well, a lot of his and, like, the Sicilian economy was based on land, right? Like, they didn't make anything other than food. So if you own this grove of lemons, you are the one who gets to make all of the money off of it, right? So he just made the governor a very powerful person in exchange for this pardon. And then he realizes that he also now has to bribe this colonel just so that he can go visit his estate. So he manages to figure that out some way. And then when he gets to his estate, he finds that the mayor of the town has like all of a sudden become the richest person who has land and political influence enough that he could theoretically rival him. So he has to figure out a way of getting some of that. And so by marrying his nephew to the mayor, or the mayor's daughter, he can take half that guy's land as the bride price, especially because the mayor is just a commoner. So now he might get into the club, but no one's ever going to talk to him because he's just a new man or whatever. And so there's a lot of like power dynamics going on that's really interesting. There's also a lot of like cultural stuff I don't really understand. Some of it I can kind of figure out, like when the son dies, they throw a bunch of like black silk stuff over every mirror in the house. I'm like, all right, that's some sort of mourning thing. I don't get.
It's got to be some kind of tradition for the area or something.
Yeah, little things like that. And then also the way that like he's very like his wife knows that he has a bunch of lovers in the city, and everyone knows it, but he's just very discreet about it. And then when challenged, she's like, I have 5 children. I've never even seen my wife's umbilical. Or wait, sorry, that's the umbilical, which is belly button. She's like, I've never even seen my wife's belly button. So this is what I need to do. But like that's the thing. It's just as long as he's discreet about it, everyone's okay.
I was going to say that's a very different cultural norm if you're supposed to have seen your wife's umbilical cord.
Yeah. I was going to say that would be. I was like, okay, that's the other thing. I was thinking like when like because in the first 2 episodes, Conchetta and Tancredi are all about like, oh, once this revolution is over, we can be together. We'll go to Genoa, we'll go to Marseille, we'll go to America, we'll go wherever. Because I don't know if I mentioned or not, it's 1860 when this is happening. We'll go wherever. We can live our lives free of our parents. And I'm like, that's your cousin. But no one bats an eyelash at it. Everyone's like, yeah, all right. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's your cousin, but, well, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that's just a cultural thing. All right. Yeah. All right, did you get your mic set up?
You vamped hard. That was perfect.
Good. Anyway, I like it. Il gatto pardo. Plus, I get to say gatto pardo all the time. I would also be really interested, somebody who doesn't speak Italian, but is fluent in Spanish. I wonder how much they could get without the subtitles. The languages are really similar.
Yeah. I have no idea. I would have to ask.
Not the least of which because Sicily for hundreds of years was ruled by Spanish kings. Anyway, let's get going. So anyway, welcome to Outwit, Outplay, Outcast, the Survivor Podcast Network. Wow. The Survivor Podcast on the Night of Living Geeks Network. It's funny when you're saying something like that 1,000 times, and then you just get a little bit off, and you're like, I don't know what to say or do.
You just halts everyone.
Yeah, I had to actually just start over with it. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Season 48, Episode 3, Commit to the Bit, which is something we're familiar with. We commit to many bits.
Sure.
And yeah, unless we just abandon them. Now someone will do the Bible reading for the episode.
I suppose it's my turn.
Yes.
Mama. Vula is in shambles. Neither Mary nor Say feel any trust toward anyone, and Mary says she will straight up murk her entire tribe if she makes it to the merge. On Siva, David is telling everyone how poor he is. Loggy is exhausted and overheated, so Joe builds a bonfire that is attended by everyone except Star. Thomas is jealous of Ava, so he and Shaheen decide to eliminate her at the first possibility. Say channels her inner Rome, but unlike last season, Mary is into it and plays hide-and-seek while looking for an idol. Mitch and Cherry get Survivor married and decide to bring Kyle and David as their human shields. The rest of the pre-challenge stuff is jockeying for position within the tribes, but we all know none of that matters until after the first tribal council, so far it's been the Vula show in that regard. The immunity challenge is a yelling challenge in which David takes a log to the head and then smashes his nuts into the second log twice. Siva collects their bags first, with Loggy not far behind. Vula takes the slow and steady method, but is also just plain bad. Loggy overcomes the gap to win immunity convincingly. Cedric is able to make up lost time with the puzzle, but they're just so far behind that they can't possibly win. And sure enough, the death spiral claims another of them. Just like the last time this happened, there's a journey with Bianca, Ploppi, and Camilla. Thankfully, Ploppi is in a good position, so we won't see him beg like Banu. The journey is a game of death Yahtzee in which only Camilla has any luck, earning an extra vote, while Ploppi and Bianca lose theirs. Mary picks the strategy of not looking for an idol, just pretending she already has it. This has never worked. However, Say seems to be falling for it and conspires with Cedric to split their vote. Mary is a great actress, and Say is very credulous. To complicate matters further, Ploppi refuses to tell anyone he lost his vote and tells a lie that would fall apart immediately if anyone questioned it even a little bit. Tribal shows that Vula isn't a tribe, it's 4 solo players. Mary successfully plays her shot in the dark, negating 2 votes. On the revote, Say votes Ploppi and Cedric votes Say. On the third vote, Cedric breaks the trust again, voting for Say. Cedric has to choose between Ploppi or Say, or else it's him going home. He makes possibly the worst decision and ejects Ploppi. Hey, Nick, why was that the worst decision?
Thank you for setting me up. It's almost as if I wrote it that way. It was the bad decision because he did not commit to the bid. Like, you've already burned that bridge with Say. Yeah. There's no repairing that relationship. Like, she seems chill right now, but let's face it, she's chill right now because she has no choice. In 3 episodes minimum, when there's a merge or something of that nature, she's gonna say, "Yeah, it's time for me to take revenge on Cedric."
The next fucking episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing of it is, he said, all right, I will pick you if you can commit to working with Mary, because we can't be this dysfunctional. But if he had just picked Ploppi and gotten rid of Say, now that would have made him look like a jerk, and I think that's more of the deal. He's thinking about, what do I look like to other people watching this game? So if he had picked Ploppi, he and Ploppi and Mary could have worked together. Like, Mary's rivalry was only with Say, and the other two could say, well, we were with her, but she's gone now, and I chose Ploppi. I chose to work with you guys as opposed to working with Say. So that's why it's a bad decision. Although, even as I was saying it, I was like, oh no, okay, I understand why. Because he doesn't need $1 million. He's a butt surgeon. Like, he's got pardon it, he's got an ass load of money. Oh. So the $1 million, like, it would help him, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't need it. What he needs, though, is to not look like a disloyal, you know what I mean? Like, not look like a jerk on national television. And so by saying to Ploppi, hey, I'll see you at Luigi's in a month or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that makes him look good. So, all right, I understand his thought process, and sure, why not?
Doesn't make him look good.
That did not make him look good. That made him look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it makes him look pretty dumb.
So fucking stupid.
No, here's the thing. Yeah, it was a dumb move, but it was hey, I'm gonna make peace. I'm gonna be this good guy character kind of move. You know what I mean? The kind of thing that Middle America really eats up. Look,
how is that making peace? He's dead to her. There's no fucking way she's ever going to work with him again.
Yeah, Say just said whatever she could to live, and he fell for it.
Right. And then that makes her look bad. It doesn't make him look bad. Whereas if he
looks bad for falling for it. He came on the game of Survivor, right? Like, I get what you're saying, right? But it's regardless of context, right? But we have context. They're playing Survivor, where he's going to get lied to and manipulated. And he got lied to and manipulated so many times in these, like, first 3 episodes. And Say just did it again. Like, no, he's kind of an idiot.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, I didn't say it was a great move.
Yeah,
Last time, he was like, I have to keep Say for no reason. And now he's, all of a sudden, was going to get rid of her. And then when it was completely up to him to get rid of her, he just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like, even if Say and Mary really are gonna bury the hatchet, right? Like, it's either merge or tribe swap next episode. You know it is. You know they're not gonna go from 3 to 2 on this tribe, right?
Yeah, well, they showed that they're tribe swapping.
I mean, we know that, yes. But what I'm saying is, when you're Cedric sitting in that moment, you know the odds of it going, like, the odds of them not doing something before the next challenge is really, really low. You know that they're not going to make you do a 3-person tribal challenge, or 3-person tribal council. It has happened once, I think, but like once in 48
get down
seasons.
To 1.
Yeah, like it's you know it's so rare, and I cannot believe that he would believe that come a swap or a merge, Say and Mary aren't going to immediately bounce away from each other. Like,
Well,
immediately.
not to mention, they literally just got done saying, we will never work with each other.
Yeah. I'll
Like,
say this. If they could work together, I really think they could make a real power couple.
Yeah,
Like,
they'd be great.
yeah, they'd be good. Like, I actually really liked that Mary didn't get mad, like, didn't go... I can't remember the name of the guy that Rome was bullying. The large Filipino
Ironically
man.
enough, it was Psy.
Oh, wow, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, no, that is really ironic.
Saul with it.
Saul, yeah.
Saul,
Yeah.
right, Saul.
Yeah.
All right. No, I could see how you would think it was Psy.
3 letters with an
yeah.
S.
Yeah. But, like, Saul, he got mad about it, and rightfully so. I'm not trying to downplay him, but Mary was just kind of like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, Mary's fucking game. I'm telling you, Mary from her like interviews, like her pregame interviews, where she seems like a fun person.
Oh, yeah. She's 100% the most relatable
They
person.
also wasn't, like, in her face like Rome was doing.
I don't know. Say was like run, 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 run. It's like doing an "I'm coming to get you" kind of a thing.
Yeah, but, like, at that point, though, that's where you could tell, oh, Say really kind of likes this, too. Like,
Yeah.
they're keeping each other sane out there.
I mean, it is not like when Saul was like, I gotta go take a shit. Are you gonna follow me to take a shit? And Rome was like, yeah, I'm going to. It's Survivor, right?
There's
Like,
no rule.
That's just genuinely confrontational. And Say was like, she's out there swimming. Do you think she's not like following her out to swim and standing right next to her? She's like, okay, Mary needs a minute. Fine, we can give Mary a minute, and I'll watch her from here. But we'll give her some space.
Yeah. No, I really like
But
that.
she did do you don't get the rest of it. You get the fuck up and do what I want right now.
Yeah.
Well,
And then he fucking voted to keep her. She was
Yeah.
yelling at him. I don't know.
in her, sort of playing devil's advocate here, but in her defense, the three of them kind of agreed we need to make sure she doesn't get the idol, and she's the one doing all the work to make sure Mary doesn't get the idol. Meanwhile, those other two are taking a nap. I'd be like, motherfucker, I want to take a nap.
Because they're not with her. She thinks they are, but they are not. We've known that. She should. That's Say's problem. Say should know that, but she hasn't clued in. She's repeatedly not clued in to all of the hints that they're dropping, that they are not really with her. The problem is they keep getting themselves out. Like last week, the three of them got Kevin out and kept Say, even though they weren't with Say. And now, even though they're not with Say, Cedric and Justin got Justin out. I mean, to be fair, Loggy is who sent Justin home, right? They sent Justin on a journey, and it was a pure luck challenge. So,
I loved it.
I think like this. I feel like this is apex level shit luck Survivor, because like you get selected by another tribe. It's not even like you did a draw, like a Rochambeau or a draw for straws or anything.
Yeah.
Loggy picked you. You go, and it's just straight up fucking dice rolling. That's balls for Justin. That is a rough beat.
Yeah. The real sad thing is we're never going to see if he has more than one shirt.
He doesn't need to have another shirt. We know who he is. He's Pizza.
I don't know.
He's Ploppi Pizza.
I'm slightly disappointed. We never thought to just call him Pizza.
I know. Now we don't get to pivot.
Well. Yeah, I don't regret Ploppi. That was a good call considering he did not last very long. But yeah, calling him Pizza was just right there, and we never did it. Oh well.
Now every episode we're gonna have to be like, remember pizza?
Yeah. There was a show called Video Game High School, and there was a character named Shane Pizza, and go figure that was not his real name.
So you liked the dice rolling challenge?
I thought it was great. Okay, look, I understand why people are like, oh, there was no skill to it, blah 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 blah. But you know what? There's skill to almost every single challenge in this game for the last couple of seasons. We can have one non-skill challenge, all right? It's allowed, okay?
So I did think about this, why I didn't like this. Because almost always when you send somebody on a journey so far, you know they're going to get a puzzle of some kind, right? And so I appreciate that they changed it so that it's not just constant puzzles and little games, because that really benefits a certain kind of player more than the other, right? So like you don't want to send the puzzler on the journey unless you want them to get the thing, right? You want to send the big dumb guys if you don't want them to get the thing. So I appreciate that they tried to do not a puzzle, but like they could do a sweat challenge, you know, they could do a balance challenge, you know, they can pull something, like they have a lot of little pieces from immunity challenges and reward challenges. They can pull out one or two pieces and put it in here. And I just feel like you could do a physical thing here. You can do an endurance thing. You can do a concentration thing. There's different stuff you could do here other than a puzzle. And this just feels like it's not as bad for the tribes with 6, but when you have a tribe that's at 4, it hurts. Like,
Yeah,
and I know
well,
that I know that's their whole thing, but like throughout this process, Justin had no choice or agency in this at all.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks. It's not like he could have even opted out of the game, you know?
That's life. No, I mean, look, let me put it this way, because you're saying you're making a good point, but here's my rebuttal to the fact that, you know, they could have done a sweat challenge, you could have done whatever. There's still this is episode 3. There's like 9 to 10 episodes left of this show, of this season, and that they're gonna have plenty of sweat challenges.
Yeah.
This is the only time this season you're gonna see a single bit of luck challenge. I practically guarantee that. That's why I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, this rules. This is the coolest thing ever, actually, because this is not something that we've seen in some form or another 15 times. Wait, it's season 48. It's not something we've seen 48 times in some other format. You know what I mean? This is a one of one. This rules, actually.
It's not 101. I don't feel like this is significantly different than the Ben Drybergen challenge when they, for immunity, just put their hands in a bag and pulled out a colored rock.
No, because this one was for an advantage. But it's the point. The point is, if you look at the overall mix of challenges,
hold on. If it was just for an advantage, sure. But it's for an advantage or not losing your vote, right? Like that's what gets me is if you're gonna remove the player's agency to choose whether or not to proceed, then you have to make some skill challenge in there so that they have the ability to use their skills to get out of the situation, right?
Counterpoint.
He had no agency in this, right?
Yeah, that's why it's cool.
No, that's why it sucks. Like it's fine even if he had no agency to choose whether or not to do the challenge, but it was slightly skill based, and you still knew he had no shot in hell of doing it. You could be like, oh well, I guess this is something you should have practiced before you came, or whatever. Or like, there's some point at which you could say, oh, I guess he shoulda, woulda, coulda done this other thing to prepare for this or do it better, right? But there's nothing he coulda, woulda, shoulda done in this. There's no shoulda, woulda, coulda.
He coulda, woulda, shoulda done, and that was coulda, woulda, shoulda told his tribe the truth, or at least one person on his tribe, Cedric, should have told him, hey, I don't have a vote. We're screwed if there's something in there. You need to make a decision. You know what I mean? He could have told him something. He could have planned around it, but he's like, nah, dog, I'm good.
That's fair.
That's why I don't mind the fact that, or I definitely don't mind the fact that it's luck. Because people are like, oh, there was nothing he could do. Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes that's what happens. And what you can do about it is choose to tell the truth or not. And he chose a bad lie. Because here, this is what I wrote down about the lie that he told. It's implausible. You win comfort or food or nothing. There were red question marks and white question marks, and you got whichever one was for. Well, you listed 3 outcomes, but there's only 2 outcomes that you could possibly get.
Yeah, and it's also weird for it to be a tribe reward when there's a single person going on the thing. Yeah, it's not a good excuse. That's true. I'm going to
Yeah.
concede that point that he played the aftermath pretty poorly. So Brian,
to
which of
believe
us
it,
is
though.
right?
Nick is right.
God
You know
damn
why
it.
it's good? You know why it's good that it's blind ass luck? Because luck is the equalizer, okay? Like, for example, okay, when you're playing Super Smash Brothers, I hate when people turn items off because that fucking defeats the purpose of the game. The point of the items is that if the other person's way better than you, it doesn't matter. If you get the right items, you can still win. Whereas if you take the items away, you have no fucking chance of winning
But
if they're
there's
better
still
than you.
skill in
It's
that.
the
That's
same
not
kind of thing.
pure luck.
Yeah, I know. And there's lots of other shit going on in the game of Survivor too. Just winning that fucking small dice toss is not the entire game.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I will say one of my favorite moments of the episode did come during the challenge or during the journey though, when Camilla came around the bend and saw the table and she just went, "Huh."
Yeah.
Just her like gut reaction of, I was hoping for a puzzle, but fuck. That was
Hey, you
pretty
know
good.
what? She won. She's the one that won. So good for her.
Yeah, I just like the, huh.
Yeah. Bianca, I do not know a single thing about her.
The fact that Bianca, anybody who likes Thomas at this point, I don't like.
Thomas is interesting. Okay.
Thomas is good television, and I don't like him. He's a villain.
He's good. He's a villain, but I think he's an interesting villain because he has created himself as a nexus of information. People just tell him things. He doesn't have to do anything. He's got his number one, and he's got two allies that think they're his number one. So no, he's I'm liking him. I am interested to see what because he's definitely gonna get to the merge. There's no way he won't get to the merge.
Yeah.
But I'm really tempted to see what happens when the game opens up. But it's really sad to me also that they already are like, yeah, this game's going to open up because when Camilla got back to Siva, she told everyone, yeah, I got this. We can use it against Luva or Vula or whatever the hell it is. Vula. We can use this advantage against Vula. And it's like, oh, yeah, they're already like, yeah, that other tribe, they're not a... oh, no, not Vula. Sorry, Logi.
Yeah.
We can use this against Logi because Vula is just... They don't even exist anymore. It's fine. We can ignore them. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah. It will be fun. And I get the feeling it's a swap or a mix-up, right? Not a merge.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right, let me close. All right, I have read off all of my notes, so now I'm just going to go based off of what you guys have to say.
My other favorite moment of this episode was when they get back from the challenge and Mary's like, I'm going to play it cool as a cucumber. And then 2 minutes later in confessional, Say also says the phrase cool as a cucumber to describe Mary.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, that's when I cued him like, oh man, they could be such good friends.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I hope that they both somehow get to the merge and then are voted out and they get to spend a bunch of time together in Ponderosa, which we won't see, but I bet you they're going to be like, hey, let's just hang out. Because also, they both got a mouth on them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
the way that they talk when they're talking in confessional, I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, they would, like, good-natured shit they can talk. Yeah. And I feel like they would talk real good-natured shit together.
I feel like they're the two people you would want to have at like a game night, because they're friends. But when the game starts, they're gonna fucking rip into each other, and it's gonna be entertaining. Oh, yeah. And then when the game's over, friends again. I get that vibe.
Where's Mary from? I already closed the thing. Where's she from? Is she local? I want to play board games with her.
Mary is in Philadelphia.
Maryland.
She's not local at all. She's from Maryland. And she lives in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Mary lives in Philadelphia and Say is from Philadelphia.
Yeah, there you go. It's a Philly. See, there's even a Philly connection.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I really wonder. I'm sure they know that by now. Like, I'm sure they mentioned, oh, yeah, I live in Philly. I'm a substance abuse counselor over there. Yeah.
I don't know. You'd hope so. Brian, what did you think of David's sob story about how he needs $1 million in order to start a family?
Speaking of people being stupid. Okay, first of all, I don't believe for a second, because he had to keep bringing it up. My wife wants to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm pretty sure that's his idea. Secondly, like, right before that, it was him like talking about like, yeah, I do skydiving and scuba diving and all this other really expensive shit. Like, well, maybe if you fucking managed your money better, you fucking idiot, you could have somewhere to live.
That's probably for work.
Okay.
He is a stunt performer, so he probably needs to do that.
This is the
I
other.
have a feeling.
Go.
Yeah.
You go.
No, that's just what I was gonna say. Is that I'm pretty sure that stuff is for work.
Yeah, he needs to up. I don't want to say up the maturity, but like, there's a point at which he's got a job that I'm sure he loves that lets him do exciting things, right? And there you can tell there's a certain amount of his personality that's tied to his job, what he does for a living, right? But that living obviously doesn't pay enough money. There's a certain point at which if you want a family and you want to prioritize it, and you're at the point where you don't make enough money to start that family, you have to decide to do things to get you in a position to make that money, right? And I'm not saying you just go out and make whatever money you want, right? But David's a good-looking guy, driven, talented in a lot of areas. He can probably do other things for a career that will make more money, right?
He could be a gigolo.
Possibly, but like, it's a choice. It's a choice you have to make at a certain point, especially if you're going to be a one-income household. You have to commit to money being a primary motivation of your career, right? And I speak from experience here. I had a job I loved, and I left that for a job that I hate, and I make 3 times as much as I did back then. And I hate my job, but you know what? It pays for my family. And so, like, David...
and you hate your family.
Yeah. David, if money is really this important, like, there are more consistent ways and more reliable ways of making money for your family than going on Survivor. I don't know. I just feel like there's a switch that hasn't flipped in him. He's saying he wants it, but the switch isn't there. And then when he goes into a challenge, he slams his nuts into a tree 3 times, into a log, and now it doesn't matter because those nuts are gone and he can't have a family anyway anymore.
That was so funny, especially when I went back through my notes to like, oh yeah, who ended up getting hit in the head, bonking their head? Oh, it was him also. He just got clobbered on that one. Oh, that was so funny.
That's what I was going to say. You know how I know he's an idiot? Okay, because of that when he hit his head. He had his hands on the wood, and he knew he had to dive under it, so he pulled his hands down and dove forward. Like, what the hell do you think was going to happen, you idiots? You keep your hands on it when then you duck your head under, then you can let go.
You think a stunt person would know that?
You would dive blindly, knowing there's something you can hit your head on. In front of you.
I have seen The Fall Guy. The stunt coordinator has a lot of responsibility on set. So, yeah. What I'm saying is he wouldn't have to do something blindfolded like that with on a set.
I don't know. I don't want to rip into him too much because, like,
he's not the coordinator. He's the performer.
No,
I know that. I'm sorry. What I meant to say was that as the performer, he has a coordinator to make sure that if he's blindfolded it came out wrong. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It came out wrong. But that's the point. Is he has a whole team around him to make sure that he could duck his head under there without banging it. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rip into him too much, right? Because we get a portion of their life shown to us, right? Okay, fine. You can judge him mercilessly.
It's very duty.
I don't know.
All I want.
Well, the other thing worth keeping in mind, though, is that when they say what their job is, that's just a part of it. Like, a lot of times people are working multiple jobs, so he may do stunt work and then also have some other 9-to-5 that doesn't pay near enough or whatever. But yeah. Or maybe he worked at the Waterworld stunt show. I
mean, I'm looking up right now. Stunt performers average $33 an hour or $72 a year. Where does he live? If it's LA, then yeah, he's fucked.
Yeah. And $33 an hour sounds really good, except
long
he's not working.
Yeah.
He's not working 40 hours a week.
He's in the Los Angeles area. So yeah,
join the California Girls Alliance.
Yeah, that's right. That career is not.
Oh wait,
he is in the California Girls Alliance.
Yeah, all right, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, so unless he becomes a really senior person,
that's not his tribe.
Oh yeah, the California Alliance is purple.
Oh yeah, Thomas, Shaheen, and Joe, right? Yeah, because Joe's from Sacramento. Yeah.
okay, this is not going to happen, but I feel like it would be great if the Siva Californians also joined in with the Loggy Californians.
I love it was a California supremacy season. That'd be great.
Yeah, California, Uber alles.
Oh god.
Oh, like, well, one of them's gone.
Yeah, Kevin's gone. Kevin's from California. That's fine.
Yeah,
Say
well,
he's in
Livermore doesn't
say
really
he's in
count.
California.
Yeah, there you go.
Simi Valley.
Yeah, here we
though.
go. There we go. Seven Californians are all going to get to the end together. How mad would Middle America be if that was the case?
Ah,
They'd be
fantastic.
yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
taste your tears.
If I ever get on, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, so where are you from? Oh, you're California? All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a they hate us because they ain't us alliance.
Yeah, we're gonna make the red states cry. Let's go.
Okay, does anyone have anything else they want to say?
So during the challenge, the blindfold, I guess there was only one challenge. Okay, but during the challenge, I was watching that thinking, like, you know what? If I was there, I would be like, well, you can't make me the caller because my voice is too low. There's no fucking way you'd be able to hear me. And then right after that, Cedric proved me right. I was like, thank you. He's trying to scream to Mary, and she couldn't hear anything he's saying.
No, Mary was doing
if you ever
fine.
do a
She was trying
challenge
to-
like that, and you have a woman, she should be the one doing the calling, because you'll be able to hear the higher pitch through the wind and shit.
Also, Cedric was like yelling, "Say turn left," and Say started strafing left and turning right. Like, what? I'm sure
I like
part of
how you
that's
call it-
editing, but goddamn.
She was pressing A to move left. Yeah.
Yeah, she was using the right stick instead of the left. Do
Yeah.
you guys have any thoughts about Ava and the bracelet and Joe and Star? Anything that matters there?
Oh,
Yeah, I agree with who was that? Thomas was like, dude, whatever. You tied a string tied the ends of the string together, made
Yeah.
a bracelet. Give me a
I'll be
break.
this way. No. I think it was nice what she did as a way of being like, look, this means something to me that you're helping me out and you're bringing everyone together. And by the way, also her name is Eva, not Ava.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Just like easy way to remember it, Evangelion. Anyway, so Eva it was a nice gesture that she did, and then it was more what made me laugh was the way Thomas was like, oh no, I want Bianca, not Eva, because Eva is Joe's cat's paw, whereas Bianca is mine, so I'm going to kill Eva. And then Star is just not there at all.
I know,
Like,
poor fucking Star.
Yeah, but like also like we're talking about like what we were talking about with Ploppi. She can do things, you know what I mean? She is choosing this route of nobody likes me, therefore I'm gonna be off on my own. And when Eva tries to talk strategy with her, you know, she says the first thing she does is like, all right, I'm gonna go turn around and tell somebody, oh, she's never talked to me about strategy, and she comes up to me and talks about strategy. It's like at a certain point, it's like, all right, Eva, or sorry, not Eva, Star. You're playing the game really hard. Like, I think Star would fit much better on Vula. Like, she would be out by now, mind you. But that's a tribe of people who are just kind of all looking to play the game really hard. And, like, Kenzie, a couple seasons ago. Like, she just wanted to play the game really, really hard. And it's like, okay, well, you can't have a tribe of 6 people trying to do that. Stephanie clearly wasn't. That's why she's gone. But that's the point. It's like that is a tribe of people playing real, real hard. Whereas her tribe, Star's tribe, they're playing well, but like they're not trying to gut each other and form do or die alliances on day one right now. But because Star is ostracizing herself, de facto they have. Like, assuming Thomas doesn't get his way and vote out Eva, it's going to be Star.
Yeah.
Simple as. And it's going to be her own fault. And at this point, I feel like she may have dug her hole a little too deep.
Yeah, I mean, because it was last episode, Eva says something like, oh, you know, Star can sit out. And Star got like a huge chip on her shoulder for that. And understandable, but like it's Survivor, you gotta knock that chip off and be willing to hear offers when they come your way.
Yeah.
Right? And or not just offers, like have conversations. Like Eva goes to Star. Star doesn't say anything about the idol. Fine. Even Eva's like, I know she's lying, but this is Survivor, so fine. I'll try another route, right? Eva's like, I'm going to try and build some rapport. I understand the context of this game, even if I don't understand her social cues. I get that. She doesn't have to tell me. It's good gameplay if she doesn't. Okay, fine. Let's try talking some names. And so she throws out a couple names just to like have a conversation. And Star still gives her nothing, and then immediately rats her out. And it's like, Star, you were saying last episode how nobody ever came to you, and then nobody built bridges until you went to them and told them about the idol. And now you have somebody coming to you to talk about the thing you said didn't ever happen that you wish had happened is happening now. And you're just going to brush it away because of a fly-by-night friendliness, not even alliance, you made with other people when you told them about your idol when you probably shouldn't have. Like, it's not reading the room. Star is not reading the room. She's just in her head about how she perceives other people and not thinking about her place in the web of relationships, because she does not have a place right now. And somebody tried to give her one and she brushed it away.
It's funny to me how that situation mirrors what happened in the previous episode on Vula. Because Kevin got voted out because he said, hey, we should vote out Say before she can play her idol. And then she played it anyway, but it didn't matter. But, like, he was in the same situation that Star is in. Wait, sorry. You know what I mean. It's a very similar situation where they're like, we should get rid of Star now because she doesn't have a vote, and that will put the idol back into play that we can go search for. So, anyway. That's my way of saying it. All right, cool. Unless there's one more thing anyone wants to say, we'll move on to fantasy.
Brian?
One more.
Yeah, let's hear
it. I feel like, is it just me, or does Kyle seem like it hasn't hit home that he's there yet?
Yeah.
It seems like when people are talking about him, he seems like he's like watching it on TV and he's like not a part of it.
Pretty much. No, I agree with you.
I mean,
that's why,
there's no reason for it to have hit home for these tribes yet.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, none of this stuff matters until the first tribal council. Because everyone is always, whenever we have these death spirals, right? The other tribes are always like, hey, everything's great. Everything's fantastic. We all love each other. We're best friends. We're going to all go to a reunion afterwards. We're going to go to to Ploppi's Pizzeria, and we're going to just patronize them, and it's going to be great. And then they go to tribal council, and one person gets voted out, and all of a sudden everyone's like, I fucking hate you. I hope you die. Drink poison. So Kyle is in that stage right now. He has not yet realized that this game is real to him, which is fair because that's what everyone does.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the look on his face. He's just like,
Well, he does he's
like blank.
I like his face, which is a weird thing to say. Brand new sentence. I like his face because he's so excited and open-eyed and bushy-tailed. So I'm enjoying that while it lasts, because I know that once the game starts for real for him, it's gonna be real closed off and guarded.
I don't know, because their tribe, I think that vibe also comes from that tribe, right? That's the tribe that also Mitch went on a journey, came back and told everybody about what he got in full honesty. And then Camilla, even though she had told herself apparently she wasn't going to tell anybody, she came back, told everybody in full honesty. And they're all talking about how they're going to be united. And I don't see as much division happening in that tribe as we see in Logi, right? With Thomas, Bianca. Like, the show is giving us a lot of information about the web of relationships on Logi and Thomas and Bianca and Joe and Eva. And we're not getting as much. When we look at Siva Camp Life, it's like David's 4 nipples, you know? So I think it could go either way. Like Logi is, doing foreplay. They're not really playing yet. You don't really play until you go to tribal council, but they're doing foreplay. We see that happening. But Siva's not even doing foreplay. So either they're going to go into the merge and be like, Siva's strong, we're tight, we've got these advantages, and we're strong physically as well. And then they're going to steamroll, or they're going to go in and just get murdered.
Yeah.
Because they are not prepared.
Unfortunately, my gut instinct says murder.
We'll see. They're a little kumbaya. I think
Yep,
they're gonna merge and want more kumbaya and be completely caught unawares.
mergeder.
Yeah, there you go. Coin it.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
We're doing
Fantasy,
it.
because I'm getting tired.
Fantasy. We had a bet resolve this week. We had a shot in the dark over under at 1.5. Nick and Brian took the under. I took the over. So I get 3 points for the shot in the dark over under. And we didn't have others resolve, but Brian, you lost your shot at 3 different bets this week. you had Justin in the Liz pool, which is who will have a freak out. So you lost those points. You had week 3 or episode 3 as a drop your buff week, and you had episode 3 as a how long till an idle episode, and there was no idle found this episode. So there are 3 bets that you missed out on this week. So unfortunately, that's not a 9-point swing because there's no guarantee that those bets were going to come in, but that hurts, man. That hurts.
Yeah.
It's happened all at once.
I'll say though, you were in pretty good shape for that. But like
The
there
6
could have
point
been
thing,
one
Nick
found.
did get the how long till idle one earlier, and
Yeah.
you'll probably get it next episode. Also.
Yeah, if Star finally opens it, yeah, probably. If you want to see our other bits, you can go to oooshow.com. On the left, you click on the link that says fantasy. That'll all come up. Also, I'm going to add on there, I'm selecting David for my heel turn for this season. Not that I think he's a terrible person, but people who are super into fitness tend to have weird takes on stuff. And so
That's true.
I'm going to take him just for that because he seems really into himself and his body. And like the drink your own piss is not just Rodney stuff. It's also like if you watch too much YouTube on a fitness channel, some idiot's going to say that and you're going to think it's okay, but it's not.
I'm actually really mad that you said that, because what I was going to say is that he has definitely drank a non-zero amount of his own urine, but you said it first, so yeah.
But you know, if he's smart enough to keep it to himself, I will lose that bet in the long run. So.
Yep.
Speaking of things we're going to lose, I don't know if we're going to lose this season. I sure hope not. I had Justin this week, though, who got me 0 points. Kyle got me 1 point for winning tribal immunity. And Say got me 5 for going to pre-merge tribal council and surviving, and 2 points for 2 votes that she survived, plus 3 from the bet. So even though I lost Ploppi, I still got 9 points this week, sitting me at 35. You guys were tied at 13 each. And you both got 5 out of it because you both had... Oh, no, sorry. I'll go do it. Brian, you had Charity and Eva, who both only got you 1 because their tribes won immunity, and 3 from Mary because she survived going to tribal council. Because when you go to tribal but survive, it's worth extra points because it's kind of like playing with fire. You want those players, and in this game, fire represents your life, so they're more points. Nick, you got 5 points. You got 1 each from Mitch and Thomas because they won immunity. Another one from Camilla because she won immunity on her tribe, but also she scored an advantage. So that's 2 more votes for Camilla. So that is 5 onto your 13, giving you 18. So it's you 2 at 18 and me at 35. And I get first shot at the waiver wire because I had Justin and he's gone now. So I can choose between Chrissy, David, Bianca, Joe, Shaheen, Star, and Cedric.
Wait a minute.
What?
You owe me 3 points. There
For
were
what?
3 votes for Mary.
Oh, yes.
Very much.
Yes.
No, there were only 2 votes for Mary.
No, all 3 of them were her.
Hold on.
because Mary couldn't
First time.
vote.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was only 2.
Yeah, it's 2.
Ploppi couldn't vote either. Right,
Yeah,
2. Yeah.
2 for Mary that got negated. Correct, sir. Plus 2 for Mary. That'll put you
I'm
up to
very
20
good
points,
at-
my friend. Oh, so you guys are not tied anymore. It's a clear
That's
delineation.
fine. I didn't
Uh,
need to win this season.
let's see. I don't want Cedric. Yeah, you're on a tear. You're fine. I don't want Cedric. I don't feel like he's going to be well positioned to going in merge or swap or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
want Chrissy because I haven't seen her. I don't want David because I've seen too much of him. I don't want Bianca. I don't want Joe. Well, I don't know. I feel like if you had to take out Eva or Joe, who would you take out? I would leave in Eva and take out Joe.
If it's the merge, you keep Eva. If it's the merge, you take out Joe and keep Eva. If it's tribal, you keep Joe and take out Eva. There we
Yeah.
go. I could not say that. I was like, I don't know what words are anymore.
Star's got an idol, possibly, but she still hasn't figured it out. I don't really want to take Star. I think I'm going to take Shaheen.
Ugh.
We'll take Shaheen here.
He's in a good position.
Yeah.
I know you keep saying it's like a question. They very clearly showed in the preview. It said, you're changing up the tribe, was his exact word.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes they like to play coy. Who fucking knows, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Brian-
definitely not merging already, after 3 people are gone.
Although I will say, if Camilla were available, I would have taken her. I don't know how well she's going to do, but I love her. She's adorable, so I would have taken her, but I can't. Because, Nick, you have Camilla, Mitch, and Thomas. Do you want to make any changes?
Camilla, Mitch, Thomas.
All 3 of your players have advantages, by the way. That's pretty slick.
No, I'll keep what I have. I was thinking about dropping Mitch for Joe, but Mitch has an advantage, so no, I'm good.
I'll trade you Mitch for Shaheen.
No.
Balls.
I'll trade you D's for nuts.
Okay. Brian?
Well, now that Eva, now that Mary is not stuck on that tribe anymore, it's perfectly safe now for her. So I think I'll keep what I've got.
Yeah.
I like Eva and I like Mary. I don't know much about Charity, but she likes Mitch and I like Mitch, so I kind of like Charity by proxy.
Charity has the weird foot.
Mitch is fucking great.
Yeah, I like Mitch.
I like your team, Nick, except for Thomas.
He's going to win, so whatever.
There you go. It'll be a come from behind.
That's all good. All right. Well, everyone's going to keep their team as is, and it's late, so I'm going to go to bed. So we're going to wrap it up, and we will have this thing ready for you. Wait, can't speak. We'll post this thing on Tuesday night again, just ready for you to listen to it before watching on Wednesday. So everyone, stay safe. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye. I know I said good. Have a nice weekend because we'll be editing.
Yeah,
over
it'll be
the
for
weekend.
us, but they won't have.
You two have good weekends.
You too.
That's what. Yeah. Well, you two, and also some other
Well,
Irish band.
They listened on Tuesday. There's still going to be a weekend before the next time.
This is true. We are hoping that they have a weekend, so that's a good point. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. Goodbye.